Iraq economic news and points to ponder Monday afternoon, September 29, 25. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com blog and become our supporter on Patreon. Central Bank Governor. We have comfortable foreign reserves capable of defending the exchange rate. Baratha News Agency 272202500928 Central Bank Governor Ali Al-Alak announced on Sunday that Iraq is currently experiencing its lowest inflation rate in history. He also noted that Iraq possesses comfortable foreign reserves capable of defending the exchange rate. He emphasized the creation of a sound investment environment following the significant success of monetary policy. U.S. Embassy Economic Advisor. Armed factions continue to threaten investors in Iraq. The economic advisor at the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad, Eric Camus, confirmed that armed factions in Iraq still pose a threat to investors and drive them away from the country, despite security improvements compared to 15 years ago. This came during a dialogue session at the Iraq Investment Forum, where Camus noted the interest and promising investments in Iraq that encourage American investors. He emphasized his country's commitment to supporting Iraq and providing international support to protect businesspeople and enhance foreign investment opportunities. Oil Minister. Receiving oil produced from the region is a good start and an embodiment of the state's sovereignty. Sunday, September 28, 2025, 1509. Economics number of reads. 283 Baghdad, Nina, Deputy Prime Minister for Energy Affairs and Minister of Oil Hayan Abdul Ghani stressed that receiving oil produced from the region is a good start, and it is an embodiment of the state's sovereignty over national wealth. The Ministry of Oil said in a statement, Deputy Prime Minister for Energy Affairs and Minister of Oil, Eng. Hayan Abdul Ghani Al-Sawad, chaired today, Sunday, the 9th session of the Opinion Board in the presence of under-secretaries, advisors and general managers of oil companies and departments. The minister began the session by congratulating the Iraqi people on the occasion of signing the agreement to receive crude oil produced in the region for the purposes of exporting it through the State Oil Marketing Organization, SOMO, noting the importance of this agreement, which occurs for the first time in 20 years. The minister praised the efforts of the distinguished staff of the ministry to reach this agreement, which was signed by the Federal Ministry of Oil, the Ministry of Natural Resources and foreign companies operating in the region. The statement continued, during the session, the topics included in the agenda were discussed and appropriate decisions and recommendations were taken. Iraq attracts $102 billion in investments. Money and Business Economy News. Baghdad Minister of Trade, Athir al-Ghorari, announced that the volume of investment in Iraq over the past 2 years has reached $102 billion, 62% of which is foreign investment. During his participation in the Iraqi Investment Conference today, Sunday, the Minister of Trade explained that Iraq's annual import rate from abroad amounts to $85 billion, including $23 billion from the UAE, $16 billion from Turkey, $18 billion from China, and $12 billion from the United States. He pointed out that Iraq is a promising market, and there are significant investment opportunities in the country, according to the German news agency, dpa. He added that the Ministry of Commerce is working to transition to digital transformation, e-commerce, and company registration through a mobile application to eliminate bureaucracy and corruption. Al-Ghorari continued, "We need our brothers and friends to achieve economic and investment development in Iraq. There are promising and significant opportunities amounting to $450 billion in various sectors." He said that Iraq has surpassed the stage of achieving food security in the country and is providing food to approximately 42 million Iraqis under the ration card system. Dr. Mahood. The banking reform plan focused on 3 main factors. Banks Economy News. Baghdad. The Prime Minister's advisor for banking affairs, Salah Mahood, confirmed on Sunday that the banking reform plan focused on 3 main factors, while noting that the World Bank praised Iraq's progress in electronic payments. Mahood said, "The banking reform plan adopted by the Central Bank of Iraq in coordination with the government took into account 3 main factors: trust, speed of procedures, and the development of banking tools." He explained that, investors seek trust, speed of procedures, and modern banking products, and these elements represent the fundamental pillars of any investment environment. He noted that enhancing trust depends on the presence of effective institutions and compliance with anti-money laundering regulations, which positively impacts investor confidence in the banking system and investment environment. He added, the speed of procedures means a shift toward digitization and the development of electronic payment methods, which is what the banking reform plan focused on through extensive coordination between the government, the central bank, and the private sector. He noted that the relevant committees are working in an organized and effective manner. He pointed out that the most prominent challenges facing the digital transformation process lie in societal culture and resistance to change, given that Iraqi society relies on cash. He explained that the government and the central bank have sought to spread the culture of electronic payment through practical decisions, including adopting fuel stations as a starting point for card payment experiments, which has contributed to raising awareness of the importance of these tools. He pointed out that other challenges relate to infrastructure, legislation, and cybersecurity, as well as the gap between cities and villages in the field of digital services. Noting that the government, in coordination with the central bank, has issued clear instructions to activate electronic payment tools in the governorates. He added, during a recent symposium, World Bank experts praised the rapid progress Iraq has made in electronic payments and financial inclusion over the past 3 years, stressing that the indicators recorded in the number of cards and electronic payment devices reflect this development. Iraq records a rise in its oil exports to the United States. Economy, 9:48 September 28, 2025 Mawazin News, follow-up. The U.S. Energy Information Administration announced on Sunday that Iraq's oil exports to the United States increased last week. The administration said in a statistic reviewed by Mawazin News that the average U.S. crude oil imports last week from 10 major countries reached 5.767 million barrels per day, an increase of 699,000 barrels per day compared to the previous week, which averaged 5.068 million barrels per day. It added that Iraq's oil exports to the U.S. reached 197,000 barrels, an increase of 74,000 barrels per day compared to the previous week, which averaged 123,000 barrels per day. The administration indicated that the largest oil revenues to the U.S. last week came from Canada, at an average of 3.837 million barrels per day, followed by Brazil, at an average of 435,000 barrels per day, Mexico, at an average of 320,000 barrels, and Saudi Arabia, at an average of 296,000 barrels per day. According to the table, U.S. crude oil imports from Ecuador averaged 236,000 barrels per day, from Venezuela 143,000 barrels per day, from Nigeria 123,000 barrels per day, from Colombia 121,000 barrels per day, and from Libya 68,000 barrels per day. Central Bank. Iraq is witnessing its lowest inflation rate in history. Toda. Economy, 12-13 September 28, 2025 Mawazin News, Baghdad, the governor of the central bank, Ali al-Alak, announced today, Sunday, that Iraq is witnessing its lowest inflation rates in history, while noting that it possesses comfortable foreign reserves capable of defending the exchange rate. He emphasized the creation of a sound investment environment following the great success of monetary policy. In his speech during the Iraq Investment Forum, the governor of the central bank, Ali al-Alak, said that the current phase in Iraq is characterized by stability, reform, and openness to investment, noting that the central bank is a condition for achieving this stability through its monetary and financial policies, controlling inflation, supporting and stimulating various economic initiatives, addressing the requirements of reality, and enabling the private sector to operate in an appropriate environment. He added that achieving monetary and financial stability is the result of several factors, most notably the daily policies pursued by the central bank in confronting developments and challenges, the prudent management of financial reserves, which represents a fundamental pillar for achieving stability, and the management of the banking sector in a way that contributes to strengthening this path. He pointed out that one of the most prominent indicators of the success of monetary policy is the creation of a sound investment environment through controlling inflation rates, explaining that general price stability constitutes an important basis for the work of the private sector and investors, while turbulent environments in price levels and inflation hinder real growth. He pointed out that the central bank gives this issue top priority through close monitoring to ensure general price stability, stressing that Iraq is currently witnessing the lowest inflation rates in its history, which reflects the success of monetary policies in controlling and managing the flow of money, in addition to the presence of comfortable foreign reserves capable of defending the exchange rate and achieving a significant balance between supply and demand for foreign currency. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com blog and become our supporter on Patreon. Source: dinarrecaps.com